Hey everybody, welcome back to Slingin Dirt. I tell you what, it's Memorial Day weekend. You had just mentioned it. Cookouts, barbecues, hot dogs, burgers, people laying on top of cars. With that being said, we're going to keep this short and sweet and to the point. So stay tuned, it's Slingin Dirt. We'll be right back. Everybody, welcome back to Slingin Dirt. We got a little bit to talk about today. It is Memorial Day weekend, so it's going to be short, quick, and to the point. No driver interview today. We are more worried about getting back out of the studio and going to our barbecue. I actually might do a little bit of fishing today. Just, get away from the car for a while, get away from the race and take a break. I'm
going to take advantage of the day to just relax.
Yeah, relax. How do you spell that again?
I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I. So, I tell you what, let's get to it. I'm Buddy Ray.
Matt Dennis, everybody.
Here it is, Memorial Day weekend, and one thing that I really want to talk about over the weekend, we had a vintage sprint car racer pass away due to injury suffered in a rollover accident or incident over at Junction Motor Speedway out of York, Nebraska. Joe Haig.
Yeah, he older gentleman, ran a vintage class, vintage sprint car. From understanding, it was, I don't know if he rolled or not.
I don't know if he rolled. Actually, he did roll.
Okay, because I knew the incident was bad enough that he did have to be transported to hospital in Lincoln, succumbed to his injuries after that. So we do want to take a moment to remember him.
These vintage sprint cars, they're really cool cars. But they don't have roll cages. And when I say vintage sprint car, I was like, we're going back into the 30s and 40s style sprint car. It's not the sprint car of today where you got the big wings and the full roll cages. He was sitting in the car. It did barrel roll. I can't remember who was telling me, but it did barrel roll several times. Joe Haig was out of Lincoln. He was an extreme car buff. He loved vintage racing. He was well respected. It's never a fun thing to report that someone has passed away in this sport, but with that being said, it doesn't matter what class or what individual, we put our life on the line every time that you get into one of these cars.
It is a reality that it can happen, and all drivers know that there is the risk of it. And unfortunately, in all the years I've been around, I've seen more than my fair share of this. You never want to see it, but you always have to expect it from time to time.
I tell you, the one benefit that can come out of his unfortunate passing, here it is Memorial Day weekend, none of us are working today. You're talking about relaxing. You can still relax in the shop. Today might be a good day to go out, look at your car, look at your safety equipment, look at your belts, look at your gloves, look at your, just because we have full roll cages doesn't mean that we're not immune to the possibility of, passing away in one of our cars, whether it be a late model, a modified, or whatever. So that was the first thing that I had thought about when it came across that he had passed away is, we need to look at our safety program. And, I have the head and neck restraint. Everybody knows my neck is in horrible shape. With that being said, I should be using my Hans device a lot more than I am.
Yeah.
At least in the one car, but we could take one bad jolt, we could take one bad hit, we could break a neck, break a back, pass away ourselves. But if there's anything good that can come out of Joe's passing with the sprint cars, go back to your own racing program, look at everything in the car, make sure your safety equipment's up to date, it's in good shape. Even in the trailers, look at your fire extinguisher.
Right.
And
I was just thinking that there are some cars out there, they do have the onboard fire system. Make sure it's up to date, make sure it's charged. Even right down to something as simple as check the bolts for your seat belts, check the bolts for your seat, make sure Heim joints for your steering shaft are tight.
Yep.
Because that can cause big issues too, we've all seen that. But even check zip ties on your roll bar padding.
Oh, absolutely.
Make sure your roll bar padding is secure. Because all it takes is one bad hit for your arm to come up and smack a roll bar, and now you got a broken hand or a broken finger or something like that. So just make sure everything's tight, everything's intact, everything's up to date.
Yeah, the other thing, a couple other things that I'd looked at, you know, we were at Denison a week ago on Friday. For everybody who's got these great big toters and stackers and enclosed trailers, we all have observation decks. But how many of them have railings around the trailer?
Very few of them have.
Very few of them. You know, you can fall from the top of a trailer and somebody, it was just a couple, 2-3 years ago, as a matter of fact, at Denison, somebody had fallen off of a trailer, now they're paralyzed. It was a racer. You know, he could have died there. So I thought about that. Last year, there was an incident, I think it was in Oklahoma. A father and son had a generator running. The generator was running, it was about out of fuel. So while it's running, they took the cap off and they poured gas in the generator. Generator caught on fire, burned the whole truck and trailer down to the ground, and it put both father and son in the hospital, severe burns, almost took their life. So, you know, it's sad that it takes the untimely, unfortunate passing of a fellow racer to have us, you know, go back and look at our safety equipment. But when the word came through that Joe had passed away at Junction Motor Speedway, right away I was thinking of the safety, you know, within the shop, the car, the trailer, and all that good stuff. So, but tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back. It's Slingin' Dirt.
Hey guys, I'm Jeff with DriveDirtCars.com. Does your current race operation look like this? Well, if it does, give us a call at 815-990-2657. We're actually financing Harris race cars and CMC crate motor connection crate motors for your racing operation. Our payments range anywhere from $200 to $350 a month. If you'd like to get a new motor or you'd like to get a new chassis, give us a call, 815-990-2657.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Slingin' Dirt. One of the big topics, it's kind of funny, you know, when we're talking about some stuff here on the show, a lot of the times, if you really pay attention, I'll be talking about something during the week, the thought of the week or something like that. Speaking of which, the thought of the week, did you see last week, I put like, why is there 10 hot dogs in a package, but you only get 8 buns in a hot dog, on a package of hot dog buns?
Yeah, I seen that.
And I could not believe how many people commented on that.
What was one of your other ones that I seen? Because you put up a bunch of them, just
random thoughts, just
yeah.
people.
The things that go through Bud's head.
Oh dear Lord. But with that being said, I was talking to a track promoter about social media. We want to go to the Silver Dollar Nationals, the biggest race in the state of Nebraska. And we got to talking about social media. And really, it's not just social media, but social media has kind of really spurred this habit of people streaming from the races live. What the promoter's saying, I don't think the promoter in question from I-80, Joe, and it's Joe Kaczynski, I don't think he's against it himself. I think he sees a benefit of it. It's his insurance company, and his insurance company is saying, you know, look, after the whole Tony Stewart incident, which we're not going to go into that, but after the whole Tony Stewart incident, the insurance companies really strongly frown upon people sitting in the stands or sitting in the pits and streaming the races.
Here's my question on that. You can either sit in the stands, sit in the pits, whatever it is, and you can do a live stream onto your Facebook or onto a YouTube. How's that different than standing there and posting on Facebook, so-and-so passed so-and-so, 5 laps to go. Yeah, you don't have the visual aspect with it, but you can, if you're around the sport enough, just reading a text like that, you can build a mental image in your head.
But you had to be, you have to be around the sport enough to know that.
Right.
If the way people type stuff, you and I could decipher that, boom, and know exactly what's going on. But let's say you're Tom, Dick, and Harry, who maybe goes to 2 races a year or maybe 1 race a year. You don't really strongly follow it. It's kind of encryptic, and they're going to go, I wonder what's going on. I think the insurance companies, if you've got 20 modifieds out there and you have a 10-car wreck in turn 4 while they're on the throttle, then there's injuries. That's where the problem lies with the insurance company, because now is it the track's fault? Is it the driver's fault? Why is this guy taking video footage? And one of my questions to Joe was, well, you have some of these other outlets like Dirt on Dirt or IMCA TV or whatnot. Well, they pay to have those rights. I'm like, well, how's that different? I'm not paying. He's like, yeah, but it's the insurance companies are seeing it as a bad thing because it's whose fault is it? Is it the track's fault? Is it the driver's fault? Why is this person videoing this? If all of a sudden somebody gets in a wreck and you're streaming it, and then all of a sudden you're typing out so-and-so passed away, and when in fact they never did pass away, it just creates a really bad thing. And Joe Koziski's actually telling people now to put their cell phones away. He doesn't want no streaming.
Well, that's a deal, I guess, to me, with the insurance company saying, we don't like it, don't do it. That's where the track, if something gets posted like that, a bad wreck, a driver passing, something, whatever it is, not even for a track to go into detail on it, but just put a disclosure out there, whether it be on their website, on a social media outlet, a no disclosure, we had nothing to do with this footage, we have no part. And that's what would save a track as far as the insurance goes. But at the same time, the insurance company could possibly use that to determine if there was an issue with the racetrack to cause a wreck, if it was just a racing incident. I mean, the insurance company can benefit off of it too, to deem, yes, we're liable, or no, we're not liable.
The one thing, you and I both agree, we both love the Facebook streaming. As far as, until somebody comes out and says it's illegal to do it, I'm telling you, keep on doing it.
Yeah.
Because I know when we were working on the Razor, we were watching Stewart Speedway.
Yeah.
We were, and that's where the streaming comes into play. Now, when we're saying we're streaming, I don't think I have yet to see a streaming video on Facebook. You know, that's the #1 social platform for all of us racers, so I'm going to go with Facebook. But on Facebook, I haven't seen a stream where it's crystal clear. At best, it's kind of grainy, but it kind of gives you the gist of what's going on. I mean, my Razor might look like 6 pixels on a piece of dirt, but at least you get the idea when my 6 pixels pass the 4 pixels of blue over here, you know Buddy Ray passed something. You don't know who it is, but it gives you the gist of what's going on.
I'm an example of that. When we went down to Adams County Speedway a couple weeks ago, I took the same exact video. I put it on my Facebook, and it was pixelated. But I put that same video on the Slingin Dirt Facebook page, and it was, I'm not going to say crystal clear, but it was
Right. Yeah, it wasn't
10 times
crystal
better.
clear. It's when you see the streaming on Facebook, it's not as clear as what you're seeing here in the studio with Matt and I, but it does give you the gist. And here's the other nice thing that I've seen and heard from fans. My mom's a prime example. My mom is, 60-some years old. With that being said, she's not going to drive 150 miles for a 3-hour weekly show to Denison, Iowa. She doesn't even come to my house, and I live 80 miles away. With that being said, she'll follow my Facebook, and if there's somebody streaming live the Sport Mods from Denison, now she can stay involved with the racing by watching her son, me, race. Ricky Thornton Jr., one of the baddest guys on the planet in a modified. I've never met the guy, would love to meet him. That'd be a good interview on the show, by the way. Yet Ricky Thornton, or to watch Ricky Thornton Jr. win over at Stewart. Now we can tune in and we can watch what he's doing. But the tracks need to realize that when we're watching Ricky Thornton win or run top 3 at Stewart every week, at what point do Matt and Bud say, you know what, we're going to go to Stewart?
Right.
The tracks, I understand the tracks don't like it because they're like, well, why do they have to come? Now they don't have to come buy a ticket and sit in the stands. They can just go on Facebook. Nothing will ever beat the experience of being at the track versus Facebook. Nothing will beat that.
Right, and I'm not gonna say tracks can't do a track prep or something like that, but let's say the better that they do with the prep, the better that the races are. Now you guys have free advertisement.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't agree more. If you go out there, I have actually seen in the last 2 years, I've seen a number of drivers. Now, Facebook streaming is kind of a relatively new thing here in the last 3-4 months, but you know, a couple of years ago, I had seen people go out on Facebook and take pictures of the track, and then they were posting it on their page, and they were bragging about the track. Funny thing is when they're taking those pictures of that great track prep, bragging about the track, I didn't hear a single track complaining.
Right, because it was
You gotta
a
take-
picture, it wasn't a video.
Still, it was a picture, not a video, but I'll guarantee if somebody walks out there on the track and they're taking a video of the great track prep, I'll bet a nickel to a dollar you ain't gonna see a track complain about that then.
Well,
Wait.
and I went through this a couple years ago. There was the Shelby County Speedway modified race. Literally, one car on his roof, another car on the bottom of that
I know
car.
exactly which picture you're talking about.
It hit social media, it blew up. Racetrack never said one word about it. Insurance company never said one word about it. Now, had you had the live streamed in for that, yeah, they'd have probably thrown a fit because now it's all over social media, it's a video. There's no difference here. It's a still picture versus a video.
Yeah, but I know which night you're talking about, and I know the 2 drivers you're talking about, but with that being said, that was prior to the Tony Stewart incident.
Right.
And this is what spearheaded it, was the Tony Stewart incident, according to the track promoter that I talked to. But with that being said, although the tracks a lot of the track promoters hate the social media, I think it's beneficial to the track. You know, with anything in life, you got to take the good with the bad.
Right.
It is what it is. If I'm, you know, here I am buddy riding, let's say I'm promoting XYZ Speedway, am I going to have some bad track prep nights? Yep. We
As
all
does-
do it.
I was gonna say, as does everybody.
Everybody has it. But I can't reasonably be all excited when somebody's taking a video of the track, talking about track prep or videoing the races, you know, streaming it. If everything's going smooth, I better be ready to jump on I got a bitch about it bandwagon. Because if I'm going to complain over here, I have to be fair and complain over here. I can't sit there and go, well, yeah, as long as everything's all, you know, good, I don't care if you stream it, and then if we have one bad night, it is what it is. I mean, unfortunately, over at Joe's, I have disgruntled customers that come in. But, you know, for every one disgruntled customers, I probably have 50 people that love going to Joe's. You know, you got to take the good with the bad.
You can promoters can use this to keep their track on their toes. Make sure your employees are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Make sure track prep is good to keep the cars coming in. I mean, if it's going to be a deal where, and I'm not saying this is how it's going to be or could be, but if it's okay to do a live stream when everything's good, but not when things aren't so good, easy way to keep everybody on their toes, keep things rolling smooth or as smooth as possible.
You know, we were talking to Rod Olson here a couple of weeks ago from Crawford County Speedway, and I'd mentioned how he likes to talk to the racers, and he does. He likes to talk to the racers. You know, Bud, what'd you think of tonight? What'd you think of the track? What'd you think of the racing? Stuff like this. Instead of complaining about the video and people talking about the track, you know, if I'm Rod Olson, and I'm not saying Rod should do this, I'm just using Rod because I know Rod. If I'm a track promoter, instead of spending the 2 hours to walk around and meet all the drivers, just take a quick glimpse at social media. Oh, this driver's disgruntled, this driver's disgruntled, you know, this driver's happy. You know, if you've got 3 out of 5 drivers, you know, happy, all right, so the track obviously couldn't have been that bad. If you got 3 out of 5 drivers that are really unhappy about the track, then you might have an issue.
Right.
You start seeing 20 different drivers on talking about your track, and 12 of them are saying, you know, the racing wasn't very good or the low car count, you know, then you might have something to look at. A good example of that, Adams County Speedway. Look at all the racers talking about Adams County Speedway right now.
Yeah.
Good and bad.
Right. I mean, the good side is they're promoting the place more, trying to get more cars to come in. Even Stalker Chevrolet increased the purse for the sport mods, which did not increase the car count in the sport mods. Car count on the whole weekend was
49,
down.
49 cars amongst 5 or 6 classes. 400 to win, 100 to start the sport mods, 14 cars. 14, so 49 minus 10, that's 39. 35, yeah. So amongst 4 or 5 other classes, you had 35 cars.
Right.
You had several classes with 5, 6, 7 cars in a class. That's not fun to go watch.
But Adams County Speedway is the prime example with what we're saying with social media is they're doing what they can social media wise to promote the track, get the drivers to come in, and in return, the more drivers you get in, the bigger the purses can be. And they've even done that with Stalker Chevrolet,
Yep.
like I said, but it didn't work.
Right.
Not this week anyways, but there are a lot of drivers still running a different track that night. So if the purse stays where it's at and the car count goes up, social media just did its job.
Yep. Tell you what, what's your guys' thoughts on social media? I know there's a big thread on my Facebook. It ain't hard to find it. So, but here on Slingin Dirt, tell us what you thought of the social media. Are you against it? Are you for it? Can you see both sides? Let us know. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to be right back here on Slingin Dirt TV.
Joe's Karting is the Metro's fastest indoor karting facility. Come to Joe's to experience speed, join the competition, and ride the fastest indoor track around. Our professionally designed indoor karting track is perfect for arrive and drive racing, race classes, and racing competitions. We offer affordable pricing options, membership packages, event outings, and so much more. Stop in today to get registered for your next race, and don't forget to like us on Facebook for deals, giveaways, and more. Visit us online at joeskarting.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Slingin Dirt. It's that time of the week for Song or Says. Speaking of Song or Says, we had right before commercial break, we were talking about social media, and Songer always having the opinion about everything. Like I said, we're talking about social media, what the tracks can do, and the Facebook live stream and all that good stuff. Let's see what Songer's got to say about some of these tracks and maybe, you know, how they interact with social media. This ought to be good. All right, so here's Songer Says.
Warning, the related content may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Alright, so I've been watching a certain post on Facebook about a certain track and how to gain cars or get it back to where it was 10 or 15 years ago, and all the comments and everything else. And some of them, I mean, I gotta give some of these race car drivers and some of these fans a lot of credit. One, there's a certain fan, we'll just name him, Jacob Ducky Best, who's just going all out to try and make, and I think he works for the track too, but he's going all out to try and get extra cars and new cars and whatever else he can figure out to the track. And you got to give a guy hats off for that. And, you know, I hope he gets the support he needs. I'm going to try and support. We'll see what we can do. But then there's certain drivers, I mean, we'll go with the positives first. There's certain drivers that are saying, you know, hey, try this or try that. Or, you know, one suggested a split weekly show, which a couple tracks in Kansas do. You know, one could run one Saturday night, one could run the other Saturday night. You know, and they've suggested some other things and some track prep, and some of it was a little negative, but most of it was, you know, ways to get the track to be better. And, you know, from a driver, that's awesome. That's what we need. We need people to give out ideas and what we see. The promoter doesn't have to take it to heart, and it's not an insult, or at least I hope it's not. You know, it's a suggestion. But then one jackwagon got on there and said, you need to pay more. No matter how much you lose money-wise, you need to pay more. Are you? Wow! Are you kidding me? Yep. Hey, I know you probably went to the Bernie Sanders economic school, but if a place loses money, it's not open for very long. So that idea, while might gain you some cars, which, hey, I got news for every last one of you. From my enduro experiences, it doesn't matter what you pay, as long as it's a decent pay or a competitive pay, you will get the same amount of cars. Guaranteed on a weekly basis. Guaranteed. Ask all the northern Iowa tracks who up their pay if they got a bunch of central Iowa drivers to come up there. The majority is no. So, you know, a suggestion like that is, dude, just try not to comment anymore. Just stay off Facebook. If you're thinking something, run it by somebody before you post it. But then, you know, they want to get it back to where it was 10 to 15 years ago. I mean, that's tough because 10 to 15 years ago, I mean, just for instance, in the hobby stocks, I was paying roughly $2,500 to $3,000 was one hell of an open motor. That ain't even close anymore. Not even legitimately close. And I'm not going to get into the crate debate because I piss off a lot of people when we discuss that. And today's not the piss off people day. It's, you know, try and help out. But to try and get back to 15 or 20 years ago, that's a tough one. I mean, it's great to have that as a hope or a dream or whatever you want to call it, but that's tough. You know, and some of these cars, like the track we're talking about, I know 4 hobby stock drivers that aren't racing because of changes in life, you know, whether it be a divorce or a, you know, kids coming up through school and they're playing more sports or a move or whatever, you know, so that hurts you too. But guys, if you got a chance to get out there and support a track, or a track is struggling and you can give some suggestions and make them creative suggestions, get out there and do it, because we're only as good as the tracks we run on and as much help as we can give.
Does your car smell as bad as Jamie Songer does? Come on down and we'll take care of you. Well, we're gonna scrub all your vinyl, we're gonna clean all your seats, your carpet, everything. We're gonna put a conditioner on it, make a nice shine. It's gonna last for a long, long time. Then we're gonna hit the outside of your car. We're gonna do a nice hand wash with a buff, with a nice hand wax finish. Call us at 282-4339.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Slingin Dirt. Once again, Jamie has an opinion for something, and I couldn't agree with him more.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Once again, we're back on the social media topic again, and he's exactly right. Jacob Ducky Best is doing everything he can with social media to try to promote this racetrack.
Jacob's actually a really, let's be honest, he's a kick-ass guy. He's a really cool guy down there at Corning.
It had been a long time since I've been down to Adams County Speedway,
Yep.
and it wasn't until after the races when Jacob came over, him and one of the other officials, I didn't catch his name, that's my fault. But just
I don't think I caught his name either.
Down to earth, laid back, laughing, joking, interacting with the fans.
Yes.
And he didn't just come straight over to our pit. He stopped at trailers on his way by, and he'd interact with them. It just so happened we hung out the longest, so we got to talk to him a little longer. But he's using social media, Facebook specifically, to do everything he can to help promote this racetrack, to bring it back to what it used to be, just like Songer says.
You know, when it comes to life, I've told a lot of our, you know, you and I have a lot of mutual friends outside of racing. And it's no secret, we drink beer, we drink lots of it. With that being said, you know, when you go bar hopping, there's always the bar rumor mill. And I've told everybody, they're like, well, I'm so sick and tired of being in the drama. You only have drama if you let it be drama.
Right.
Period. We don't have hardly any drama in our lives. The only drama I've got is trying to keep my razor in one piece so I can finish an A feature.
And that's a full-time job for me to wrench on.
Yeah. With that being said, I think a lot of times, just like Facebook, people can be, I see tracks doing this, I see drivers, fans doing this. I'm getting rid of Facebook. I'm all sick and tired of the drama. It's only drama if you let it be drama. Embrace it and try to work with people. How many times have you seen me deal with somebody at Joe's or at the track and they're not upset and I'm like, whoa, 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 let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about it. What's the difference if we're talking in person or we're talking via keyboard? We're just talking about it. That's all we're doing. We're not kicking, screaming, fighting. We're not getting ready to break out the AK-47s and shoot each other. We're just talking about it.
Don't let yourself get sucked into the negative side of it.
No, keep the negativity out of it. And speaking on negativity, I want to switch this around. Actually, I tell you what, before we do that, one thing I do want to mention. Oh my God, Jamie Songer, while we're coming out of Songer says, the Iowa Enduro Series.
Yeah, they had another race.
Yeah.
What would it have been? The 22nd, May 22nd.
Yep.
They had one in Fort Dodge, I believe.
Fort Dodge, I believe it was. And we found out hobby stocks can go 200 laps.
Yeah.
Add weight to them and head on. I think it was a Smith brother that won it, if I remember right.
But then we also found out that, and not to call sport compact drivers out, but when they say there's going to be a whole group of them show up and then they don't.
Not a single one shows up.
That's something a promoter gets pretty pissed about, you guys. I mean, I understand if something comes up and you can't make it to whether it be one of the Supreme Enduro Series races or weekly track or something like that. But promoters, when you tell them that you're going to show up, promoters expect you to show up.
Yeah. You know, you have 100 sport compacts that say, Jamie, I want to come. Jamie, I want to come. Jamie went out of his way to rectify the rules, to level the playing field. He really went out of his way to help all these sport compact drivers. And if there's 100 of them telling that they're going to show up and 70 of the 100 show up, even if he doesn't get the other 30 cars, he's going to be happy with that. But when you don't have one single sport compact show up, seriously, then he just wasted all that time and energy to rectify the rules to let you run.
Right, to make the drivers happy to come out and run the series with everybody else because, and I don't know if it was one driver or if it was 10 drivers that asked him about this rules being changed, but he took the effort to do it for you guys because you guys specifically asked for it. And then you basically
blew him off.
Yeah. told him to go screw himself is the way it came across, and that's really not right.
No.
I mean, we all know that racing's not exactly what it used to be. It's not as popular as it used to be.
You're not making money at it.
But then to do something like that, it really does piss a promoter off.
Yeah. Why, you know, I'm not saying that I would do this, and I'm not saying Jamie would do this, but why would, if I'm Jamie, why would I rectify the rules ever again for, you know, the sport compacts just because I already know, or any other class for that matter? Well, I rectified rules for a class and all of a sudden, you know, why am I wasting my time? Nobody showed up, you know.
Which all of this comes back into the social media stuff because even after the enduro race on the 22nd, he gets his GoPro out, puts his video up on Facebook, and basically called the drivers out, not specifically, but class-wise. And I mean, social media makes and breaks, and everybody knows Songer says what Songer wants to say, so he didn't really hold back on it. He wasn't happy.
No, he wasn't happy, but you can't blame him either.
Right.
I'd be upset too. So, but let's switch gears, talking about people not unhappy.
Talk about gears on a racing show.
Yeah, who'd have thought? Turn the gears. So, I expect this contest to turn 9,000 RPMs. We're gonna do something fun here. What do you think, a week, 2 weeks? Let's go 2 weeks.
Let's do 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So
and by the time you guys are seeing this, this picture's been out there for a week already. So we
Yep.
know that it's been seen, but the contest
yeah.
starts as of today on Memorial
Yep.
Day.
On today, Memorial Day, you have 2 weeks. So here's the deal. We're going to have a caption. This, you can make a meme or you can caption the photo. Or do you want to do a meme? Let's do a meme. The funniest meme contest. You can't just caption the photo, you got to make a meme out of this. I will tell you that you need sunglasses, impossible optical surgery after you get done seeing this photo, but
And keep your children away from the computer.
yes, keep your children away from the computer. But take a look at this photo. Just suck it in. Just take it all in. Just let it all hang out.
I can't unsee this.
Well, I can't unsee this either. So yeah, just enjoy it. This is my best Cindy Crawford, Kathy Ireland pose with my own race car. We had worked on the car. It went so smooth, scaling it and whatnot. You, Jeff, and I were all laughing. It was a good night. So I thought I'd just get up there and just be all goofy like, well, what I didn't know is Matt just went click. And then that's how this picture came about.
Yeah,
So,
actually, I had just got done waxing the car, so he wanted to take a picture with this car all waxed up. And as he's walking over to the car, I'm pulling my phone off my hip, and he gets up on top, and I go click, and I send it off to Jamie Songer, everybody.
well, you had to tell Jamie Songer. You had to mention that, bring it.
I had to send it to Jamie.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Here's the contest. Look at the picture, make a meme. Put the meme on the Slingin Dirt page.
Yep.
It's got to be posted on the Slingin Dirt TV Facebook page, not Matt's page, not my page, not Jamie Songer's page. For the love of God, not Jamie Songer's page. It's got to go on the Slingin Dirt TV page. The meme with the most likes will win 6 free races to Joe's. You know what? I'm going to do one even better. Let's do 10 free races to Joe's Karting. 10 free races to Joe's Karting. The meme with the most likes. The meme's got to be not necessarily PG, but no vulgarity, no profanity, no R-rated, no nothing like that. We got to keep it, somewhat civil here. So
Right.
PG-13. So, but I tell you what, that's it for this week's show. Break out the meme generators. Have fun with that. You got 2 weeks from today. So May 20, what's today? Memorial Day. So 2 weeks from today would be what, June 10th, June something like that.
Yeah, something around there.
Some around there. So play along with the Slingin Dirt TV meme contest and let's see what y'all got to offer. I'm literally gonna regret this. So until next week, this is Buddy Ray.
I'm Matt Dennis.
And this has been Slingin Dirt TV.